Hi friends, welcome to the Oracle Integration Cloud Training Program, and this video is part of lesson 3. And here what we are going to cover is we are going to cover FTP adapter operations, read, write, delete, move, and then how we can download a file. So we will see how we can read a file with the help of FTP adapter on a remote location. We will try to write the file, we will try to delete the file, we will try to move file from one folder to another folder, and then we can see how we can download a file with the help of staging, with the help of FTP adapter at staging area. We will look at how we can encrypt or decrypt CSV file using pretty good privacy. In the previous video, we have seen how we have created the FTP connection and how we have provisioned the FTP server. So we will use the same FTP connection in this module. And then here we are going to cover a lab wherein we will see how we will create a multi-verb REST API having 4 operations. One is to write a file, second is to read a file, third is to delete a file, and the fourth is how we can move a file from one folder to another folder. So we will create a REST API which will have a multi-verb operations, and then we will use the FTP adapter to perform all the operation on a CSV file. So let's get started and see how to achieve this particular use case. So I'll just move to the Oracle integration now. Okay, so I have just logged in into the Oracle integration cloud. From here, just click on a create button. From the create button, click on a app driven orchestration pattern. From there, I will enter the integration name and I will say I will enter my integration name as FTP operations learning. Okay, and simply click on a create button. Now on the trigger point, I'm going to select my REST connection learning because I will create a REST API with multi-verb, and here I'll say FTP operation. Okay, from here I will select this checkbox because I wanted to create multi-verb API. Just click on the next button. From here I need to give a operation name. The operation name will be the write file. You can give the description optionally, what does this operation do, and then here I'll say file as a relative resource URI. That will be the post. It is because I'm going to post a file, and from here I will select configure a request payload and configure this endpoint to receive the response back. Click on the next button. From here I will choose the JSON sample, and from here I will choose my sample JSON file. Click on choose file, and then from here I will select. Okay, so I have just chosen my sample.json file and then click on the next button. Now from here I will select a JSON sample as a response and click on an inline button, and then I will say status. Okay, and then click on the OK button. Click on the next button, and then here you see one operation write file has been added. Now in order to add another operation, click this checkbox and then simply click on the next button. So I'll say another operation will be my read file. Okay, and then I will say same, it is the same relative resource URI which I have given earlier, and it will be a get. Now I wanted to pass the file name, so I will add a template parameter as a file name. Okay, and then this checkbox will be selected automatically. Click on this and then next. Here in the request parameter, this file name has been added. Click on the next button. From here I will select the JSON. Oh yeah, so JSON sample in which I need a response back. Okay, so let me just open a JSON sample file and will show you in which format we will get the data. Let me just open my notepad plus. So here you see this is sample.json file. The same JSON has been used to write the file, and then sample file.jsv is the file which we will use to create. So this is a sample file, and in the same format we will create a CSV file from this JSON. Okay, now let me just jump back the Oracle integration cloud, and then here again I can choose the same file. Okay, sample.json I have selected. Click on the next button, And now here you see another operation read file has been added. Now I will choose another operation, just select this checkbox and then next. Here I will say delete file. Okay, I'll again say file and I will take file name which can be deleted, and the operation I will select as a delete. Okay, then I will send a response as well. Click on the next button. Okay, just click back for a minute. Okay, next. Now, okay, now you are on the response JSON sample, and it will be a simple like status, and then okay, click on the next button. On the next screen, you will see two operation has been added. Okay, but here you see the resources same file, but HTTP method post get delete. I will add another operation. Click on the next button, and here I will say move file. Okay, I will again say file and then file name, and now I will select this as a football. Again, configure this endpoint to receive the response. Click next, then next, and here I can select the JSON sample and then inline, and then same way you can get the status back, and then simply okay. Click on the next button. Now on the next screen, it will show there are four operations. One is post, put, get, and then delete. But resource is same file. Okay, that's all. Now just next button, and then click on a done button. Now I have added four operation in a single REST adapter. Now when you select the multi-verb, here you see the four branches will be created automatically. Now here you can perform your write file operation. Here you can perform your read file operation. You can perform your move file operation, and same way you can perform your delete file operation. Just keep saving your integration. Now, okay, here you can just maximize it a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a FTP adapter so that I can write a file. So I will choose my FTP connection learning, which we have created in the earlier video, in the previous video. Here I will give the file name as a write, and then click on the next button. On the next button, you can see there is an operation drop down where it lists all the operations which we can perform on a FTP adapter. Like read a file, it will be used to read a file. The write file will be used to write a file. The list file is used to list all the files from a particular directory. Move a file is used to move a file from one place to another. Delete a file is to delete a file. Download file operation is important. It will allow us to download a file into the staging area of OIC. Now just click on the write file. Okay, so when you write a file, there is a limitation that you cannot write a file which is more than 10 MB. So make sure you will keep this limit in your mind when you will perform this write operation. Now you can perform any mode like ASCII or binary. So I can select the ASCII, and you have to give the output directory in which directory you wanted to write the file. So I have a directory like this one. So I have created an in directory by default. Home OPC is there. I have created another subdirectory in. Now here you can give the file name pattern. I'll say encrypt.csv. Okay, so this is the file name which I can give. And here this is the append to existing file, which means if you wanted to append the data into the same file, if exists, then the data will be appended as the file will be created. Okay, here you see there are different options like PGP encryption, decryption, and then sign, verify, signature. So by default, no PGP encryption decryption on the file to be sent is selected. By default, no signing verification. When you are writing a file and you wanted to perform a encryption, just like this, perform PGP encryption on the file to be sent to the external server. So this you need to apply if you wanted to encrypt a file. And if you wanted to encrypt a file, the public key should be uploaded into the connection, which we have done already. Then click on the next button, and here do you want to specify the structure for the file content, which shows that you would like to create a specified file in a structured format or non-structured. If you wanted to create a structured file, you have to click yes, else you can select no. And you can create a CSV file, you can create a JSON file, you can create a XML file. So if you wanted to create a CSV file, just select this and then click on the next button. On the next screen, you have to select the sample file, which I have showcased earlier, that I want the file to be created into the structured format. Just click on a choose file and I will select my sample file. Okay, this sample file has certain fields like first name, last name, department, gender, and then email ID. So the file will be created in the same manner. Now just here you see enter the record name and enter the record set name. So this record name will become the child node in the mapper and the record set name will become the parent element. So here I will say employee and record set name will be employees. Now, if you wanted to create a comma separated file, you select the comma, else you can select semicolon, tab, and then pipe, whatever you want. You can select the character set from this particular drop down. You can optionally enclose your data value based on this, like single quote, double quote, bracket, big bracket, the greater than symbol, and then pipe. Okay, and this basically you see mark all as optional, which means if you think that anyone like the first name, last name, department, gender, email ID can be a null as well, then you have to select this mark all as a optional and at least make one thing as a mandatory. So you can select this and you can make a mandatory. Now just unselect this. So this option is used when we will create a read file. I will show you this one. Click on the next button and then done. That's it. Now just save your integration and then you can reset. It is because it's jumbled. Reset. Okay. Now you need to map the data. Just click on map to write file. So this is my request mapper, and here you have to map the data which you wanted to map. Let it be open. Okay. Now here you see the request mapper where you can see all the users detail will come up from my REST API, and here you see the employees, right? So you see the employees which we have given in the record set become a parent node, and the employee which we have given in the record name become the child node. So here you can see the employee FTP header type where you can pass the file name and then directory dynamically. If you provide the file name and directory from here, the file name directory which we have given in the adapter will be overridden. Okay. Now here you see the employee. So employee is the array element. So how you can identify, if you see such type of icon corresponding to any element, it will represent this is the array element. Or you can just click on this and you can click on a node info and it will tell you yes, this is the repeating element. If repeating is true, which means this is the repeating element. Okay. Now if you wanted to create one more repeating element of the same type, you can click a create repeat node. Okay, so one more will be added. Here you see one of two and two of two. Now in this, what I will do is I'll just create a header. So by default, the headers will not be created. You have to create it manually. So in the first name, click on create target node, and here I will hard code this as first name. Okay, and then same way I will take last name, and you have to click this expression. Okay, then create target node, and then department. Okay, department. Okay, then gender. Okay, and then email address. Email ID. Now we have added the hard coded header. Now you need to map these users to use employee. Both are repeated element, and then first name to first name, last name to last name, department to department, and then gender to gender, email address to email ID, and then validate, and then close your mapper. Okay, now keep saving your integration. Now in the response, I can map the response of this write adapter. I told you that every operation has a synchronous operation and it will return the response. So under this write, just select this status and then map this status to status. You can hard code this as well, but I'm just taking this status. Validate that mapper and then close. Okay, in the read file, I wanted to read the same file which I have written. Again, I will put what I say, this is FTP adapter. Okay, FTP connection learning. Here I'll say first dump file. Okay, and then next. So here, if you wanted to read a file, you can read a file. But here, you see, if you wanted to decrypt the file, okay, you cannot decrypt while reading. First, you have to download a file into a staging area, and then you can perform the PGP decryption. So if you wanted to read the encrypted file, first you have to download it and then decrypt it, and then read that file from staging location, and then you can show the data. Okay, and so if you read a file directly, okay, then there's a limitation that you cannot read a file which is more than 10 MB. So the file which you have on the FTP location should be in a limit. As first you have to download a file. So I'll just download a file because I wanted to decrypt it, and then click here and then put the directory from where you wanted to read. So in the same directory I'm writing, and you have to give the file name, and the file name is encrypt.csv. You have to give the temporary location where you wanted to download the file at staging area. Okay, and then click next, and then simply done. So this will operate, this operation, the download operation, will download the file staging area and will decrypt. Now just reset. Now if you wanted to read that file from the staging area, there's an activity called stage. Okay, the stage file activity which allow you to read the file from download from the staging area. I'll say read file from staging. Okay, and then click on the next button. Now here there are multiple operations of this stage activity, like read entire file, read file in segments. Okay, so you understand the difference, read entire file and read file in segments. So if there's a file which is downloaded onto the staging area and it is more than 10 MB, okay, then if you use this read entire file, you cannot read it the file entirely. It is because the stage file activity cannot allow you to read the file directly which is more than 10 MB. So for that you have to use read file in segment. Once you do this, a file will be read into the chunks of 2 to 100 records. So my file is very small, so I will use read entire file. And here you can give the file reference. Okay, just click yes and then add it. So here you see the download file to ICS response which we have done earlier. Okay, so just exit expression builder, again choose it, then ICS files, load more, ICS file, then again load more, and then put this file reference here. Then save it, then okay, and then exit expression builder. Click on the next button. So here again you have to give the CSV file structure because we have stage the file which is in my structured format. Click next. I will choose the same structure. It is because it is in the same structure. I can say my employee again and then employee. So you can give different record set name and then different record name. Now here you see use first row as a column header. If your file is having the first row as a header and you wanted to skip it, you have to use this particular option. Okay. Now yes, my file has the headers as well because we have appended. So I will use this option because I wanted to skip the headers. Click next and then finish. Okay, now save your integration. Now in the mapper, just open that mapper. Here you see we have a read file from staging, then read response, and then employee, and then employee. Okay, now in the response mapper, same ways, users and then user, and then map this employee to user, and then first name, okay, and last name, department, gender, and then finally email address. Okay, and then just validate your mapper and then finish. Okay, now my read operation is completed. Just save and then again reset it. Now I wanted to move the file from one directory to another. So what I will do is just again click on this plus and then use your FTP connection, FTP phone learning, and here I'll say move. Then next, here you can choose a move file operation and you have to give the directory path. So I'll say this is my directory path like /home/opc/in. Okay, the file name I will put dynamically, which I will take from a user. I'll say CSV file for the time being. Target directory, I will say my archive directory. Okay, so I have one archive directory, ERCHIV. Okay, and then same with CSV, and then next, and then finish your wizard. Okay, just save your integration and then reset it. Now again you have to give the file name here. Just open this request mapper and then under this move file request you can pass the directory, file name, target directory, and target file name. Okay, so since I will choose this file name template parameter as a file name, the source file name, and I wanted to keep my target file name is same. Okay, and then validate and then close. Okay, now just open this mapper as a response mapper, and here I will map the response of my move operation. So again it will have the response as well, and then I can send my status, then validate and then close. So save your integration. Now last is my delete file. Now again I will choose the same FTP connection learning, and now I will choose delete operation. I'll say delete. Next, from here I'll choose a delete operation, delete a file, and it will ask from which directory. I'll say again /home PC in, and then file I'll give CSV for time being. Next, and then done. Okay, just save your integration, and from here open this mapper, and I will choose the file name which I will pass from my template parameter. Okay, and here I will pass the file name. Then validate your mapper and then close. Just save your integration and then finally map the response over delete operation, and then choose delete, delete reference, and then success to status. Validate it and then close it. Save your integration. Now all the configuration has been completed. Now you have to enable tracking parameter. Here you see there are 4 errors. So you cannot enable tracking from here. It is because the tracking will be different for each operation. Okay. Now just click on this FTP operation and now just add tracking of each and every operation. Just click right file and here just expand it, load more, user, load more, and then just put a first name over here. Now I have added this for a right file. To save your integration again, and I will add tracking parameter for read file. Here I can say file name, save. Same way I will add for another operation, which is my move file, and then again put the same file name, then save your integration, then again choose this FTP operation, then choose the last operation as delete file. Okay, and then fine. That's it, and save your integration. Now your configuration has been completed and you see there is no error as of now. Just save your integration and then close it. Now it's time to test your integration. Okay, now just activate your integration. It's time to test your integration. Just enable tracing and then include payload and then just activate your integration. Once integration will be activated, it will show the REST endpoint. Let it be activated. Okay, now integration has been activated. You can just refresh it. It will show. Okay, yeah. Just click on this endpoint, and once you click on it, it will show the all operation write file, and this is the endpoint, and this is the request sample which you need to pass. Same way as the read file operation, same way as the move file operation shows this path, and same way it shows the delete operation. Now we will test this from the Postman. I will open Postman and will try to copy URL one by one. Okay, let me just open. Now here you check the status is true and the status is 200 okay, which means the file has been created with this data, but the file will be in the encrypted format. So let me just open the FTP location and then I will show you. Now here you see the encrypt.csv file has been created. If you will open it, it will be encrypted and you will not be able to see the data. Okay, so this is how you can create an encrypted file. Now I will use the read file operation. So again I will jump to the post. Okay, I will choose the same, and then this is the get. So let me just open a new tab from here. Just click on this plus button and then just paste it, and then you have to pass the file name. The file name is encrypt encrypt.csv, and then you have to add the authorization parameter, basic authentication, and then just click on a send button. Now this time the response should come. Now here you can check the response, like whatever data we have sent into the encrypted file, it has been returned back. Okay, now just try to use the move operation. Just again copy this same thing, and then just the move is my move file is my put operation. Okay, so I choose a put over here, and then again I will add a basic authentication, then send. Okay, now you see the status is true. Now my file should be moved from indirectly to the archive directory. So let me just open this, and here just refresh it. From here it has been deleted and it should move to the archive directory. Okay, here you see the encrypted file. Okay, has been moved. Now I will choose the delete operation and I will delete this file. Okay. Now again go back to the postman, and here I will say this delete that file. Okay, and I will choose the delete operation. Okay, and then send. Now the file should be deleted. Now here you see again the status is 200. Okay, which means file has been deleted. Now just go back and just refresh it, and here you see file has been deleted. So this is how you can do a operation on the FTP directory. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We will meet to the next session.